Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Thursday night concert here on Townsend Center. My name is Tom Souza. I'm the conductor of the Towns Military Band. Our band manager is Betty May Tenney. And we'd like to start off with a march tonight. This is the American Legion March by Charles Parker. He dedicated this march to the American Legion, which is an organization of American veterans, which was incorporated by Act of Congress in 1919. Originally composed of veterans of World War I, the organization now includes personnel who have served their country in subsequent military conflicts. The veterans in the present organization hope to continue their camaraderie and to also honor the memory of their dead. Since its founding, the Legion has worked to provide compensation and hospital care for its members and has encouraged good citizenship by sponsoring numerous organizations for young people, including bands and drum and bugle corps. Our next piece is music from the Disney movie The Lion King. So this is Disney's 30-second full-length animated film. The Lion King was the studio's first to be based on an original story. This blockbuster featured 5 songs by Elton John and Tim Rice. This John Higgins melody includes Circle of Life, Hakuna Matata, Be Prepared, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
The lawn party this evening is being hosted by the Congregational Church. For those of you who wonder which one that is, it's the brick one over there. In the back of the common, they are serving hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, popcorn, beverages. Down in the front, there are home baked goods for donations, fresh fruit salad. Behind me is fried dough. There are also some activities for children, and they're selling root beer floats. You might be interested down at the baked goods table to see a quilt, an Afghan, some other very nice handmade pieces that they will be raffling off at the church fair, but they're here this evening and you might want to get some chances on those. Do support the church if you would, please, and enjoy their food as we continue to play.
Our next piece is a piece called Buglers Holiday. It's a Leroy Anderson piece. Leroy Anderson had a strong relationship with the Boston Pops Orchestra. After one concert, Roger Voisin, principal trumpet, asked Anderson to write a trumpet solo, different from the usual loud, martial, or triumphant works in existence. Anderson wrote about the request. After thinking it over, it occurred to me that I never had heard a lullaby for trumpet. So I set out to write one with a quiet melody based on bugle notes played by the trumpet, and with the rest of the orchestra playing a lullaby background. This delightful composition for solo trumpet and ensemble lives up to the definition of a lullaby. A song to a quiet child, or lulling them to sleep. The opening andante section rocks the child to sleep, and a short animato section recalls the child's dreams of active play before the tempo returns and the child falls fast asleep. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ken Arsenault on the trumpet solo. All right, how about another hand for Ken Arsenault? Did a great job on that piece. He's got the job. All right, next piece is a piece called Chimes of Liberty. This is one of Edwin Goldman's most famous marches, popular marches. His concern for other countries and world peace was evident as well in this piece. The march was written in 1922 to commemorate the Washington Conference for the Limitation of Armaments. The chimes that are featured in this piece, we don't have the chimes tonight. They carry the melody throughout part of the piece, and the march also boasts a piccolo solo that rivals such piccolo solos found in John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes. However, Goldman's pride in his country is reflected in such titles as some of his other marches: Builders of America, America Grand March, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Freedom Forever, and Old Glory Forever. He was also concerned during a radio address regarding the status of bands, where he said, I hope that strictly military bands will soon have no military duties, and that wars will be a thing of the past. Like many of his marches, the chime's specialty has a robust introduction, lots of dynamics, and a nice, simple trio with a singable melody in it. Hope you enjoy the Chimes of Liberty. Our next piece is an Eric Osterling piece called Bandology. This is a concert march that has been performed by school bands for over 50 years. As a composer and arranger, Eric Osterling's extensive background as a music educator made him particularly aware of the specific needs of bands at all levels. And throughout his career, he faithfully and continually provided them with challenging and satisfying works. He is an award-winning writer. His concert marches and band arrangements are widely performed by school, college, community bands all across the country. This piece, published in 1963, remains his most popular march. The composer stays within the march format but uses rich and full sounds and rhythms.
Okay, our next piece is a Vaughan Williams piece. This is Sea Songs. Written in 1923 for the following year's Wembley exhibition, Sea Songs is a march medley of three well-known sea shanties, Princess Royal, Admiral Benbow, and Portsmouth. Written in a typical march form with a trio, it was published simultaneously for brass band and wind band and was later transcribed by the composer for symphony orchestra. But it should also be noted that Sea Songs was originally intended to be the final movement of his other piece, Folk Song Suites.
Our final piece for the first half is a march called The Barnstormer by Nick Brown. Now, Barnstormer earned its name from the aerobatic pilots who would land their light planes in fields and use local barns as venues for their impromptu air shows. Paying spectators would gather to watch these daring pilots attempt a variety of dangerous tricks. Listen for ascending lines and descending lines, and as you can picture them flying through the air in all their acrobatics and up and down and around. So this is The Barnstormer, Nick Brown. Thank you very much. We will now take our brief intermission, and we'll be back in a little bit for an entire second half of music. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in our second half, and we're going to start off with John Philip Sousa's Washington Post March. During the 1880s, several Washington, D.C. newspapers competed vigorously for public favor. One of these, the Washington Post, organized what was known as the Washington Post Amateur Authors Association and sponsored an essay contest for school children. Frank Hatton and Bariah Wilkins, owners of the newspaper, asked Sousa, then leader of the Marine Band, to compose a march for the awards ceremony. I forgot to mention, in the Washington Post March, John Philip Sousa only got paid $35 for that march, way back in 1880. It was $25 for the band part, $5 for the piano part, and $5 for, I think it was a lead sheet. But yep, $35 for that. Our next piece is a piece by Giacomo Rossini, and it's called The Italian in Algiers. Now, it has a very interesting story to it. I looked it up. So, the Dey of Algiers, so king, if you will, of Algiers, is bent on capturing the heart of Isabella, the beautiful Italian girl found in an abandoned vessel by his captain of the ships. The Dey has a difficult problem ridding himself of his wife, Elvira. That's his name, Elvira. Right? But he believes that he has solved this and created a plan to marry her off to Lindoro, Isabella's fiance. So his wife married her off to someone else. All right. So Elvira, proving herself the wilder, manages to arrange to escape, to have Isabella and Lindoro escape from the kingdom, and at the same time, still have her husband love her. This is confusing. However, anyone who is a fan of anything on Days of Our Lives or any of the soap operas, this seems completely normal. So now this opera is not performed all that often. It's known as an opera buffa, so it's comic opera, but definitely does not get a lot of playtime as most Rossini's operas do. But also, as many of his operas, the overture lives on and is quite popular among orchestras and band arrangements. So it's Italian in Algiers, overture, and this is probably the only place you can hear it because you're not going to hear it in an opera.
Sorry to say, but that was a okay,
I noticed there are still a few tables selling a few more items, so if you like a little dessert for later this evening or whatever, visit one of these tables. This is our last concert of the 2021 season. Gee, I'm disappointed. We actually had 8 scheduled. This is number 4 that we've played. So it's been quite a year, but we do appreciate your support. We are most thankful that we were able to play it all this year. And I would first of all like to thank our band director, Tom Souza, who he is very seriously appreciated by the band and I think by the audience. He's good to work with. He selects an interesting variety of music, and over the last year and a half, I have to tell you, he's been very supportive. I think we've gotten to be best phone buddies. And I would like to thank all the musicians in the band. You may or may not know they come from 2 different states. They probably come from 16 to 18 different communities. And unfortunately, in a couple of these rainouts, a few of them have gotten here to Townsend before I got to tell them that it was starting to rain. So I do very much appreciate all the dependability and the interest of the band members. It's a great group to work with. I think it's a band that we get along well with each other, and this helps a whole lot. Some of these people have probably been in this band for 40 years at least. So we do, well, it's true. I'm sure there are a number of people that have been here at least 40 years. So We thank you very much for having the town support this. We look forward to you joining us hopefully next summer. It will be our intention to start in early June, and hopefully we can get in 10 concerts next year. But thank you very much, and trust you will have a good and healthy winter. Thank you.
Looking for the dog
As much as the accolades placed on myself and the band members, I think I'd be remiss if I did not mention the efforts of Betty May in putting these concerts together and working with the different groups. So very much thank you to her. Without her, this would not happen.
When you find it, you tap it, and then at the after the game, if you can't find one of us.
Our next piece is another John Philip Sousa piece, but a completely different style. This one is called Willow Blossoms. Although the publisher occasionally advertises this composition as a march, it actually is more of what's known as a foxtrot, and programmed mostly as a legend at Sousa Band concerts. It was dedicated to the management and patrons of Philadelphia's Willow Grove Park, and was based on the legend that fairies waved their magic wands and caused the willows to cease weeping in the beauty of the music. Okay, next piece we have for you is a medley of pieces made famous by the Glenn Miller Band. This is Glenn Miller in concert. You'll hear In the Mood, you'll hear Pennsylvania 65000, Little Brown Jug, and other of his famous hits. So this is Glenn Miller in concert. now going to play a Paris Chambers march. This is called Boys of the Old Brigade. The march was published in 1901 by Carl Fisher, while Chambers was employed at New York store. Chambers may have had a specific brigade in mind in choosing this title, but inasmuch as he had access to a wide variety of music and also enclosed the march title in quotation marks, it is possible that the name was borrowed from an older piece of music. One such tune was composed in 1874 by an Englishman, Obardo Bari, whose real name was Edward Slater. He wrote the song for Colonel Goodendorf to sing at one of the Royal Artillery concerts at Woolwich. A march version was later arranged by W.H. Middleton. During the early 1900s, American Al Sweet, who studied cornet with Chambers in New York in about 1896, had members of his White Hussars band sing a sentimental version of The Boys of the Old Brigade. Although Sweet often joked about how corny the ballad was, close harmonies of the male voices sometimes brought tears to the eyes of the listeners, hopefully because it was good. The words begin, "Where are the boys of the old brigade who fought with us side by side, shoulder to shoulder and blade by blade, fought till they fell and died?" Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come down to the end of our concerts on this very warm and sticky night. But just from my point of view, it's great to see all of you throughout the entire summer. And thank you for coming out and supporting us in the ever challenging world that we face. It's good to see that we can still have live music and have people who appreciate live band music and how we have been presenting it here for over 100 years. So it's good to see you and hope to see you again next year. And please now rise as you're able and join us in our national anthem.